Welcome, welcome. Have I got something to show you? All right, in the last episode, I introduced you to the Swiss Army knife of image processing tools, XnView. During this episode, we're going to build on what I showed you last time, how to select files for batch processing. Like I said, you don't if you have no need to do batch processing, if it's just a single file, then you can just open up the single file, select save as, and save it as whatever format you want to save it in. But I want to show you in this episode, I want to show you the power of this application. Not only is this the Swiss Army knife of image processing tools and a very powerful application, it is also extremely easy to use. So we're going to use the same folder, the same images that we used last time, and I will bring up my file manager real quick to show you that there is nothing up my sleeves, nothing nefarious going on. So let's see, vids, tutorials, XnView, this tutorial, custom actions. I have created a new folder called PNG print. So we're going to use the images that we converted from raw format in the last episode. I have the 3 image files in the PNG folder, which is what we converted them to from raw image format. And I created a PNG print because what we're going to do is we're going to change the DPI and add some other effects, and we're going to put them in this folder. And as you can see, there's nothing in there right now. All right, so let's go back to XnView. I just happen to have it open. There we are. And as last time, we're going to go to Tools on the menu up here, and then we're going to select Batch Convert. So we're going to bring up that dialog. I have my image files that I want to convert in their own folder, in the PNG folder, and I'm going to convert those and drop those in the PNG print folder that I just showed you. So I'm going to select Add Folder, and then we'll navigate to the PNG folder. We selected that, we'll say Choose, and it's going to, oops, I'm going to remove those. That was the wrong folder. All right, so let's go to the right folder. TinkerzLab, vids, tutorials, XnView, tutorial number 2, PNG. Now I've got the right folder, I think. Yes, okay, so there's the 3 image files that I have in there. Now we're going to go to our Actions tab over here, and we're going to add some custom actions that we want to perform on all 3 of these images. It could be 2 images, 3 images, 1 image, 10,000 images, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to Add Action, and I'm going to go to Image, and I am going to select Set DPI. Now, in my previous episodes, in one of my GIMP tutorials, we spoke about DPI and image size. What I want to do is set this to 300 DPI for the X and the Y axis. 300 DPI is a very good print resolution for printing photographs. Okay, it works excellent. That's what I use all the time. All right, so we've got our DPI set. So the original DPI is 100. We're converting that to 300. I want to add another action after that, and I want to add resize. So now we're going to select custom, and they have some presets, but I'm going to select custom. I'm going to change it from pixels to inches. I want to maintain the aspect ratio of the camera, and the camera's aspect ratio is 3:2. So I'm going to print it in inches. I'm going to print it at 12 inches wide by 8 inches tall, and I'm telling it to keep the ratio here, but I've already computed what the ratio is. So if you take 12 and you divide it by 4, get the lowest common denominator. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we've maintained our 3:2 aspect ratio. Okay, so you always want to maintain your aspect ratio unless you want otherwise the image will look stretched either in the horizontal or stretched in the vertical. So if you want it to maintain the way it looks, you need to maintain your aspect ratio. And in the show notes, I will have a link to the online aspect ratio calculator so you don't have to calculate it yourself. All right, so now we want to add another action, and I think I want to put some text overlaid on the image. So now scroll down to get to our text. The X margin and the Y margin, I want it to be on the top left, right over here on the image. And let's see, I want an offset of about 40 and about 35 from the top. 40 from the side, 35 from the top. The unit is points. I'm going to go to text, and I'm going to select impact. I like the impact font. So that's my font. I'm going to tell it I want it at 100 points. I want it to align left. I want the color to be white. I want the opacity to be 100. I don't want it to be transparent at all, and I want it to anti-alias it. All right, so I think I'm going to add a relief shadow to it too. So we got black here. I'm going to activate that. On the offset on the shadow on the x-axis, I think I'm going to put in, I don't know, let's try 20 and 20, and let's blur the edge by 3. And then we'll input our text here. I'm going to type in XnView Swiss Army knife. Did I type that in right? Oops. Let's get rid of that. How about that? Okay. Now, as you can see, while you're inputting this overlay, it's showing you the text. It's showing you the shadow relief. I think that looks really good. It makes the shadow relief makes the text very visible. I think that, let me see, I think I might cut that down to 15 on the Y. Yeah, I think it looks a little better. So it's real time. So as you're modifying this, you can see it in real time on the screen. And I think on the X offset, I think I'm going to set that for 30. Give it a little more X offset. Okay. All right, we're going to add one more action here. We're going to add, oh no, I don't want the shadow to be offset that much. I'm going to set that back to 20. That's better. What I wanted to do was offset the text a little bit more. So on the position, I'm going to go 50 to move the text over from the left edge a little bit more. All right. So I want to add one more action, and I want to add a watermark. And let's go to our watermark, and I've already got one selected here. And don't use alpha channel. I want to use alpha channel because I want everything else to be transparent. I've got the size set for normal. I've got it centered. You can see the logo there. I don't want it centered. I want it at the bottom right. Okay, and then the position, because it's at the lower right hand corner, the way the coordinate system works, we need to give negative numbers here. So I'm going to go negative 40, and I'm going to go negative 35. Now you can see that now I have a margin to the right and a margin on the bottom. And on the bottom, I think I'll set that for minus 42. I'll just make that even. Same amount of margin on both sides. So that looks really, really good, doesn't it? Okay, so as you can see, there's an enable, disable here. So once you create custom actions, you don't have to delete them. You can leave them there. And then decide which ones you want to enable, which ones you want to disable. And all of these are enabled by default when I create them. So, and you can change the order in which they're done. Now, I would recommend that if you're going to change the DPI, do that first. If you're going to resize the image, do that second. If you're going to crop the image, do that third. It makes sense to have certain things in certain order, okay, so it's done properly. But you'll figure that out just experimenting with it. Okay, so now my output, I've already got my PNG print folder selected here. So now I'm going to say convert. Okay, we're finished. So let's bring up our file manager again and take a look. Go into our PNG print. There's the 3 files that it converted. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Now look at that. We've got the image, we've got the text overlay, we've got the shadow relief that we set up for it. We've got the watermark overlaid on the image. Is that fantastic, or is that fantastic? Now, like I said, you can perform these same operations on as many images as you want to. It'll just chug right through them. And you saw how easy it was to create those custom actions and apply them to each one of the images in batch. So what a time saver, right? So like I said, this is one of the most powerful image processing applications I've come across, and it is super easy to use, and in my book, that is a win-win situation. All right, that's a wrap on this episode. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next episode.